What's up, guys? I'm James Baney, and I'm here with Kyle Larson, and we are getting ready to tell you what happened in the High Republic, The Rising Storm. Stick around. All right, Kyle, we are back yet again. We're doing this thing. This one is kind of crazy, but as you guys clicked on this video, here's what we're doing. We are going to tell you what happened in this book. We're not giving our opinions. We're not giving in a review. This is full spoilers. We do this because we figured that maybe there's a lot of people who didn't have time or the money or whatever to read this book, but they still kind of want to keep up with a lot of the material. Or maybe there's a good possibility, and this is really where it came out for me, is I read this book a while ago and maybe there's a sequel coming up, or I just kind of want to revisit it, but I don't have all that time. I just kind of want to revisit the story and just kind of get the plot. So we did this to kind of just run through the story as best we can. This one is a little bit tricky, but yeah, I think we're ready to do it. Are you ready to get started on this, Kyle? Let's get through this book.
I'm ready. Let's do this.
All right, so full spoilers again. The Rising Storm takes place almost entirely on the planet Valo, which is the site of the Republic Fair. Designed by Chancellor So's outreach to the rest of the galaxy and showcase many cultures making up the Republic. There are so many different perspectives in this book. It would be impossible to really do a quick breakdown. So what we've decided to do is we've chosen to focus on the main events and a few of the main characters, especially the ones we feel are the most affected by the story. So for some of these characters, we're going to run through their part from beginning to end while still trying to present it as a story from start to finish. So yeah, buckle up. Here we go. Kyle, let's get started with the story. How's this thing start?
Well, as mentioned, Chancellor So has staged an elaborate event she's calling the Republic Fair on the planet Valo. It's massive floating islands that hover above Lynosa City, the capital of planet Valo. And each one of those represents a different people or culture in the Republic. Several potential new Republic members are also in attendance. But so in the Jedi are convinced that the Nihil are mostly defeated at this point, and they're not really capable of mounting any sort of offensive against the Jedi. Little do they know, the Nihil have actually regrouped, and though they've been dealt a big blow in the previous books, they have their eyes on the Republic Fair and are determined to launch an attack to cripple the Republic and the Jedi.
Yes.
What happens next?
And they're totally successful with it, by the way.
Right.
So here is the perspective of Elzar Mann. He's had troubled visions and what he feels like is a shaky handle of the Force. The Jedi assign him to be the Marshal of the Temple on Valo, right? Elzar is also troubled by a chilly romance that he tried to revive with Avar Kriss, but accepts his assignment ultimately. When the attack comes by the Nihil, Elzar is angry with himself as he has also begun a romantic relationship with a local government official and feels it's distracted him from his tasks. And at one point in the battle, Elzar uses the dark side against the Nihil. Actually, it's this huge attack. It's a really cool scene. But immediately realizes how serious that is and confides in the other Jedi, ensuring he hasn't been consumed by it.
Right. We also learn a lot about Marchion Ro, whose leadership of the Nihil is in question by his top lieutenants Lorna D and Pan Eta. Adding to his advantage of Mary Santeca's unique abilities. Mary Santeca's unique abilities to navigate hyperspace. Ro is after a legendary weapon from his people. It's called the Leveler, and though it's demonstrated in the book, we don't really learn that much about it. We kind of learn what it can do, but we don't really know where it came from or much more about it. I mean, the Leveler seems to stir the minds of Force users, driving them mad and even turning them to ash. Its revelation is the big cliffhanger of the book, but we know from Daniel Jose Older's The High Republic Adventure, he's been searching for this Leveler for a while. It also seems to be what's triggered Elzar's visions.
Yes. Now, Padawan Bel Zettifar This is his kind of contribution to the book, beginning to end. He's also troubled in the beginning of the Rising Storm. Still grieving the loss of his master, Bell's gotten to the point where he starts to cut himself off from the Force occasionally to hide his sadness. Bell has been working hard to get the Innovator, this big Titanic-like ship that they're really proud of. It's a Republic deep space exploration vessel, and it's ready to be displayed at the Republic Fair. When it's attacked by the Nihil, though, Bell rises to the occasion to defend it. Later, when it's attacked again, he overcomes his fears and helps many of the people touring the Innovator to escape, alongside with Ember the Charhound, right? Bell's fate at the end of the novel is quite tragic. After recovering his master, Loden Greatstorm, he's been imprisoned by Marchion Ro, after recovering his master, Loden Greatstorm, who was imprisoned by Marchion Ro, Bell witnesses firsthand the terrible weapon, the Eye, Marchion Ro has now in his possession, and is shell-shocked, unable to function, just completely locked down. He's a psychological casualty of the events of the Rising Storm, and likely won't be going forward in the High Republic series.
Okay. That brings us to Stellan Gios, who now sits on the Jedi High Council and sees his serenity and confidence in the Republic and the Jedi tested when the Nihil attack. Stellan is right in the thick of it, from beginning to end, even before they attack. Leading up to the fair, he's been an emissary, he's been assisting with preparations and in frequent contact with Chancellor So. During the attack, Gios helps protect the Chancellor and other politicians who are targeted by the Nihil. By the end of the battle, Gios is offered to become a political symbol when he's filmed carrying the badly wounded Chancellor, covered in blood and crying from the destruction. It's a powerful image that's beamed out across the galaxy. The emotional toll the attack takes on all the Jedi is strong, but it's really embodied in Stellan's moment of, near martyrdom when this happens. So, yeah.
Yeah. Now, new to the stories, a welcome addition to these stories, already known is Jedi Tai Yorick. It's a former Jedi who's left the Order and now travels the galaxy as a saber for hire. She's arrived on Valo as hired security by a dubious traveler carrying a weapon she hopes to sell to the Republic. Once the Nihil attack begins, Tai joins a group of Padawans in the fight, and after making a force connection with Elzar Mann, she sees the light once again and decides to fight with the Jedi. The specifics of her Jedi past aren't revealed, but Tai fights with the Jedi against the Nihil until the very end of the Rising Storm, when they travel to the abandoned prison the Nihil have been using as their stronghold.
And that brings us to Pan Eyta and Lorna Dee. Often work together to defeat the Jedi, but both are also determined to kill Marchion Ro and claim the Nihil for their own individually. They're fighting against each other as well. Both of them also realize how fragile Ro's leadership is without Mary Santeca, and he doesn't have much of an advantage. Pan leads the attack on Valo from the sky and Lorna on the ground. After the successful destruction of Lynosa city on Valo, Marchion ostensibly kills Pan for attempting to overthrow him. However, Lorna secretly revives him. When Pan attempts to confront the Jedi to finish them off, he and Lorna realize Marchion was right, and they had been played by the Jedi. Pan's ship is destroyed, and he escapes to a secret location while Lorna rethinks her plot against Marchion.
Absolutely. Now, when everything is said and done, Marchion has possession of this new weapon, the Leveler, but he has a very broken army of the Nihil. The heroes of the story will be picking up the pieces because not only have they witnessed the death of the very powerful Jedi Master Loden Greatstorm at Marchion's hand, but they also may have potentially lost their faith of the people that they were supposed to protect. That's the entire galaxy, basically. The Jedi and the Republic weren't defeated, but at this point, the Nihil have become such a threat that they are legitimately scared that they will lose the war. not to put too much on this, but just to kind of explain it, I think Kyle said it best. Light of the Jedi is A New Hope, and this book is The Empire Strikes Back. It absolutely makes you think that this book, that the Jedi have it all together, but by the end of it, the Nihil strike and hit them so hard that they are completely at a loss by the end of the book. That is what happened in the High Republic, the Rising Storm. So that is it. Guys, if you want to hear our opinions on this book, our scores, our just general review, discussion, stuff like that, there is another video on this channel where we're going to do that, and it is up right now if you want to go check that out. As for this was just to give you the plot of the story. We hope you like it. Please like the video, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel if you like to know more, see other videos that we do in the future as we cover all the books here, and we have plenty of other stuff on the channel as well, as far as like general Star Wars discussion with Resistance broadcasts and stuff. So please check that out if you guys like this. As for that's the end of this book. Come check out the discussion in the other video, and also check out Race to Crash Point Tower, which is another story that happens at the same point. We did a what happens in that book and a discussion of that book. So Kyle, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at Kyle D. Larson, and I frequently write book and comic reviews for Star Wars Newsnet, and I'm a contributor to What the Force Show. So come on down and check me out. Where can they find you?
On Twitter and Instagram at Myra Trunks, and regularly on this channel right here for the Resistance broadcast, twice a week. Come and say hi.
Yes.
That's it. We will see you guys next time.
Thanks, everyone.